Bambi is what some may call him. This is my manager. So I got my manager on the show today. He got a lot of beautiful ideas for me. I trust this man. Well, we've been rocking tough for like 4 years at this point.
Almost 5.
Almost 5. I first met Barry as a college kid, and then he was really good at what he does, and then we got super cool, and then I found out like he's good at other stuff, and then
you're making it sound like I'm doing some shady, crazy stuff over here.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, man. All I'm saying is that I got my main man, Barry, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, Joe, I'm happy to be here.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. He came down here from Indianapolis. He done got his big boy job now, and he coming and checking on Joe, Unico Williams, man, hopped on the show. I'm so excited, man.
Joe, honestly, it's a pleasure to be here. I love watching it every week. I get on there. I watch it on YouTube. I don't get it on SoundCloud or Spotify, but you have a lot of outlets, and I got to say that's what got me impressed initially with it. You started running with this. I know you've been talking about it for a long time, and
yeah, man.
I was just, when I saw that first episode come out, I was proud of you. I was impressed.
First off, I would like to thank me for you saying that. No, man, man, I've been through a lot, and trying to get to the space that I'm in now, it's been quite the journey. I'm glad that you were on it with me, and I'm glad that you believe enough in me to continue to support and see what you can do to help, and I appreciate that, man. So everybody clap it up for my man Bambi. Yeah, appreciate y'all over there clapping. So before we get into it, we got to start it off with Toxic Report.
Woo! Here it comes.
I'd like to say that I was not toxic this weekend. I was not toxic. I was not toxic. But because of my toxic actions in the past,
okay,
may have had toxic situations arise, and that's okay.
But did we work through them?
Oh, we worked through them, man. We're glad that it happened, and we're going to try our best to not be toxic anymore. So that's the toxic report this week, and we're going to try not to be toxic this weekend. I'm hearing I might be at an Airbnb this weekend. I can't tell y'all the
Are they
location.
still open?
Shh. So all right, so look. So here's the deal, Banana Peel.
All right. This is between you and me.
Not the rest of the world, not the internet. Is between you and I.
Here, we're gonna get a little closer here.
So,
all right. Well, I'm stuck.
So,
all
so
right.
if you know some addresses of Airbnbs, you don't have to use Airbnb because Airbnb won't let you do it. But if you know a guy, you can use it.
So it's like going to your friend's house when your friend isn't there,
and leaving an envelope,
just as you would.
Because that's what I typically do when I go to my friend's house. I leave an envelope like thanks for the time that I had here. I appreciate that. So I might be in a lake house. Yeah.
You didn't tell. I'm a little jealous.
Hey, listen, man, my life is crazy, and I'm here for the whole ride, man. But enough about me. Shout out to me not being toxic. Shout out to our past events of being toxic, coming back to bite us in the ass. But that's all right. That's what happens.
Joe, I wonder if they were toxic this week. I want to get a toxic report from you guys. I'm curious to know.
You stupid Thomas Wayne, by the way. Go back and watch the comments. Just go back and watch the comments.
All right.
After this is over.
I'm gonna get roasted, and that's them being toxic. You see it.
And I won't allow it to happen. So with that being said, So yeah, man. So what's been going on with you? What have you been up to besides trying to help me build my empire, my brand, and what I want to do? What tell me what you been doing?
Well,
What Bambi been up to?
so I guess we'll start at the start. Good
Mm.
place to start. Since the last time I saw you, I've been traveling, not on the lam, but I've been traveling. Got the
Because
new
there's
job,
no way he'd ever be in any type of shady business. No way.
Eagle Scout,
I
Scouts Honor. The three with the.
Oh, okay. Scout signer. That's what that is.
There we go.
Will they let me throw that up without me getting in trouble?
I don't see why not. You know what,
Man.
Joe? We'll make you an honorary scout.
No, man.
This
They better,
episode.
they better
this
not
episode-
jump me in no campfire. If I'm just having my own little bonfire or something, they better not come over there. I seen you was throwing that shit up, man.
Hey, just bucket of water. It's all you need. Nice and.
Oh, my bad lie.
Are we throwing stuff?
No, but in the meantime, keep it going, man. What else you been up to?
All right. So yeah, new job. Happy traveling. I've been from Colorado to Niagara to Savannah, Georgia. I've been all over. Been in Nashville. It's been something. The job's got me traveling. I'm working with local governments. Help get their information online, make things easier for the property owners, and
Okay.
just trying to do some good and remove some of that inefficiency that exists and just straighten it all out. It's a rough spot, but
Inefficiency. Final level. Well, that's good. I found out in a lot of ways in the last month or so that a lot of places haven't been ready for what would go on to happen. But I'm loving the response of these companies as they're trying to figure out a way to continue to conduct business. So with that being said, how has the corona, how has that affected you and your daily doings? Because you was traveling, going to Niagara Falls. You rolling. Every time I talk to you, you rolling good. How has that affected you in the last since March 23rd?
So it hit us a little earlier than that. It hit us about second week of March, so probably around the 10th or so. And I was one of the last people in the office. I love working in the office when there's no
always the hard worker.
Well, you see, it's one of those things. My territory stretches from Maine to California. I got states in every time zone, so I can get up at 7 and I can go to bed at 9. And so late nights in the office, people go home, nice and quiet. Pretty easy to get some stuff done. But at the same time, during the week, if people are working from home, nobody's there. Easy enough for me to, move around, do my thing, get through my process without worrying about what people are thinking.
That's what's up. Now, hold on. Let me talk about people that you deal with that's supposed to be at home. When you reach out to them, I start telling. If you ain't home during this work at home or shelter in place order, I'm telling. You just give me the list. I tell. Don't worry.
All right.
I got a little bat phone.
You gonna call them?
I called him. Ain't nobody answer. You better get there quick. That's where I'm at, man. Messing up my money. So with that being said, man, tell me a little bit about, in sales, because you're in sales. You're in that. And how has it adjusted going from the college life to okay, we're not interning no more. We're not doing that anymore. Now it's for the paycheck. So what's that adjustment? What's that adjustment like?
It's a big shift. It really was. It was me. I was sweatpants, t-shirt kind of guy.
Yeah.
Basketball shorts in the summer. Just relaxing. Now I got the collared shirts and the jeans.
Oh yeah.
Fortunately, my job doesn't always call for slacks and a suit, and the office is pretty casual, so that's nice. It's a nice switch. Not too hard. I don't know if I could wear a suit every day. I don't know. It's not me. It's not my style. I'd feel so. It just feel wrong. But with all that, sales is really because I work with governments. There's a lag time. And so governments are always looking kind of a year in the rear with the budgets and a year ahead with their assessments. I won't get too deep into it, but effectively, you're always trying to collect money from the last year to fill up your budget for the next year.
Mm.
Make sure that you're good. So while it might not have hit some areas yet, some areas it has hit really hard,
Mm-hmm.
and they burned through their budgets for next year already. But they're still wondering, is my sales tax coming in? Are people going to be able to pay their property taxes? And so it's really something where across the U.S. it's a different response. You know, I haven't been able to talk a lot to say my contacts in New York
Mm-hmm.
or California or Washington as much as I have maybe the Dakotas or Wisconsin, where the response hasn't been as bad. And so it's a lot of really trying to be sensitive to people's situation and just be, you know, extremely adaptive but overly flexible.
So with it not being, you know, with it not being the norm anymore, do you think that this, in a sense, this happening was a blessing or more of a curse? Because I personally am looking at it as, you know, where you wouldn't really care too much about the Dakota. Not saying that you don't, but I'm just saying like where a typical business might not care about what's going on in the Dakotas or what's going on in Wyoming, and I'm just throwing shots at the Mountain West. But I'm just saying, you know, they're getting some of the attention that they actually need, I think. And so, you know, I don't know, has the corona hasn't hit that part of America that hard, has it?
It
like
hasn't,
Colorado,
but the effects are still there. So what you have to look at is there are a couple stages of shutdown in government.
Sure.
We're closing the doors and sending everybody home, which is kind of the highest level of that. But then there's just, you know, we're closing the office. You can't come in if you're a public or you have to make an appointment.
Right.
To the extent that there are some that have never closed. There was no need. You know, you have rural counties that are way out there and they don't have to deal with any of it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're still affected by that media presence. So, you know, panic buying, certainly a thing.
Mm.
And if you're in an area, you're only getting, you know, 2 shipments a week to your grocery store.
That can hurt.
It'll hurt. And so what we've really seen from this, and of course this is just me talking as a 24-year-old unexperienced kid, you know, I think we've really seen that some things are just held together so specifically just by timelines and norms, and I don't think that norm is ever coming back, because this is our norm right now if you look at this time frame.
Mm-hmm.
But if you blow it out further, you know, I do think we're going to see a lot more people doing stuff remote and also a lot less face-to-face. But on the other side of that, there's a certain amount of business that has to be done face-to-face, and finding that balance is going to be tricky, because I don't know how long this is going to last. A lot of people are saying May, but I'm also hearing a lot of people say September, and that's a huge gap.
That is. I know me personally, you know, if I'm in sales or anything, you know, I think the first thing I want y'all to see is my face and my beautiful smile, and then come on in. Yeah, I got yams by the pound. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I know what you're saying.
You know, I just, you know, I if I'm selling stuff, I want to be face to face, because it's one thing to be all voice and all that cool stuff. Yeah, we can do Zoom, which Zoom's come up huge since this time. A lot of those remote apps. I mean, I feel like Skype might come back like on a big time, but man, this did change a lot of stuff, man. When the last time you been on a date, man?
Oh God, it's been a bit.
I mean, but if you recall, you know, your last date, man, that was a fun thing. I would hope you had a fun time.
It was a good time.
Now, you know, whatever happened after that, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know, blah, blah, blah. But man, you know, you start missing things like going on dates, and you know, if you even married couples, they like to go out sometimes, leave the kids at home, that kind of thing. So, you know, it's impacted us on a lot of different ways, man, and I think it might be making people crazy.
I think so.
It might be making people crazy.
I think people are getting real crazy. You know, you're
put
stuck
more
at home.
importance on stuff that you really typically wouldn't have the time to think about, because you know you out doing stuff all the time, waiting on trains. You know, that's blocking your path, or you know, maybe every Thursday there's this spot you like to go to, and you know, it's it's changing the game. It's changing the game for a lot of places, and a lot of places that I like. They're suffering from it. They're coming up with ways. So I'm gonna tell you about this drive-through strip club. It's a drive-through strip club, man. So you drive through. First off, so the first goal
You're
is
just
you well see, okay, understand that it's a drive-through, but you also have to understand that it has to come under the guise of being a restaurant. So
do you get food?
no, I personally, if I'm going to this particular place,
Do I get like a Happy Meal toy or like a drink? Do I get something out of this, or is it just?
so what you do is you're driving through. It's this girl doing what she do. Shout out to her doing what she do outside, and social distancing says I gotta throw. So you throw your bread out the window. You roll your window down, and you look on both sides of the vehicle. You might come back around. But they get paid in that way. You're the social distancing is in place. Nobody's ever said that you can't dance partially nude outside. I see that in the hood all the time. It's a couple of crackheads from back in the day, and she used to do that stuff for free. We ain't talk about her. But listen. But in this day, so you go around, it's taped off and all that stuff. All these girls got these boxes they can dance on, and then like a pole's come out of it. And if you like that spot, you get you a shrimp meal, shrimp and fish, something like that. Yeah.
Where is this even at?
Well, the South. let's start with the South. Speaking of which, one of the first ones to open up, and I asked myself, man, is it too soon to be opening up the way that folks is opening up?
I think so. I'm obviously not being an expert, but I think just given what we're seeing, it's way too soon.
Yeah, I definitely think it is as well. But man, it's so hard, especially when you work in a team aspect where your job is to do your job, and they're like, hey, you keep doing your job.
Yep.
But when there's a part of your job that's not doing what they can and can't do, that makes it harder for you. And I can definitely say this has been a very, 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 very rough month for me.
Well, I mean, so don't work there. Okay.
No.
Oh, we can cut that part.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back from the jump cut.
Yeah.
I said something I couldn't say, so it's just, who knows.
I don't know if anybody named Unico Williams is on the roster, but at any rate, man, it's been a tough time. So without having your quote unquote brothers in arms with you, to because you need them to help you do what you do. So that has been tough. But what about other aspects? What they're talking about, meat packing plants and stuff like that. I've been hearing about that. That they're about to start limiting how much. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spill the beans. Tyson
Boy.
Chicken.
Uh-oh.
Up there in Lafayette, Tippecanoe County.
They don't make beans.
They make what they make.
They make chicken. You can't spill the beans on. You got to spill the chicken.
Good one. Listen, so we got Tyson Chicken.
Tyson Chicken.
They have a factory in my state, in Tippecanoe County. It's like 500 people. I'm gonna tell you. 500 plus people had corona in this particular factory out of 1,700.
I gotta go throw my chicken out. Joe, am I gonna have to throw my chicken out after you tell me this?
No, you gotta bathe it in the sink, and then you put it on. You bake it on 450. That'll kill it. That'll kill it, Rona. That.
Can we get somebody? Can our PA fact check that?
Fact check that. And they want to see you on camera real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and pop it off. This is I worked with him at McDonald's one time when I did not work at McDonald's. So Shout out to my homeboy Mark. You know what I'm talking about.
I got you.
Uh, but yeah, man, it's just tough for everybody because we can't be a complete team. I'm thinking about the Lakers, or I'm thinking about even just basketball in general. I mean, 4 people on the Brooklyn Nets had corona. 4 people.
It's a lot of people, especially for a basketball team.
One of them being Kevin Durant, their number 1 player. He had it. So you don't get to have your best player around the facility because you got to do this quarantine thing. Hopefully you get together, which he did. He recovered. But man, corona's been something else. But what if we met a game?
Where are you going with this? I'm interested.
What if we met a game for a second?
Okay.
Now, a little history. Barry and I, he put me on the game. That game being Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. Oh boy, we're taking this all the way down here.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Saito Sama, samurai warrior and de facto god of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, he made many deals with many people, saved a lot of lives, destroyed a lot of kingdoms. But at the end of the all, he was always standing there when the dust cleared, and anybody that stood with him, they'd come through.
He was also drunk. He was also passed out during a lot of those adventures. Man, Dungeons and Dragons was a dope game to be introduced to. You got your character sheet, and you got to figure that out. First off, you let me be. Okay, so here's the deal.
Oh, now you're spilling the dice on me.
Oh yeah, because I didn't spill dice at all. First of all,
you rolled plenty of dice.
No, after the fact. So okay, so this is how I got into Dungeons and Dragons. Barry's like, hey, be the dungeon master, kind of, in a way, but you just this person, and oh man, I gave them the most impossible odds because I was being myself. So I was Saito Sama. I had 2 what do you call them?
Dragons?
No, they weren't dragons. Leviathans.
That's what it was.
So I had 2 pet Leviathans. One was one was thunder, and then one was like straight up water or something like that. And then after I did that, they kept on rolling dice, and I came to realize that I had too much HP for these. Now that's health points. I had way too much HP for them, and then I started metagaming because they were like discussing stuff. But obviously, I can hear you.
All right. So
obviously, I can hear you.
So Joe comes in. I'm like, Joe, do you want to be this super crazy super villain? I'm not gonna let him kill you, but be a threat to him, scare him a little bit. Just say whatever you want to. Come in with whatever you need. I'll make it work in the rules, and I've got stuff for it.
Yeah.
And so I came in prepared for what I thought could have been a worst case scenario. And then Joe's like, so I teleport them to my island in the void, and 2 Leviathans are coming at them. And I'm like,
yeah.
All right, so that's okay. That's 20. Oh, okay. They might be all right. They're in some trouble now. And so Joe's just telling a story, and he's telling it to the point that I'm getting drawn into it as the dungeon master. And
mind you, Hennessy is involved, so I was feeling just as aggressive in this Dungeons and Dragons game. I had no idea what I was going into.
And as you all know,
we ate some food too, by the way.
Oh, there was a lot of food.
We ate some food. That shit was good.
Joe hates to lose. There are some people that love to win, some people that hate to lose. Joe hates to lose. So when it came to a point that they were starting to, make some headway, Joe saw that and he's like, not on my Leviathans. And he starts describing this whole new thing that happens, and I'm sitting there like, oh boy, this might kill everybody. This might take it all out right here.
But me wanting to win the room, I did not allow that to happen.
Because you started to see people were you saw people were getting scared. And that's when Saito Sama had his moment of what do you call it? Benevolence?
Because I was going to say I'll never have it again. But whatever that moment was, I'm never going to have it again.
You had a moment of mercy for him. And you showed them that mercy in that moment.
And I'm like, man, this is like 5 hours in. They still haven't killed these things, man. I mean, hold on. We need to figure something out.
It was
here.
like 45 minutes.
It was longer than, it was 45 minutes?
It was like.
It felt like eternity to me.
Because
like,
you're just wailing on with these Leviathans.
No, I wasn't. I felt like about 4 hours in. There was some chick shooting arrows at people. I was like, that's not gonna work.
Were you playing with Kara's group that time?
We played with Kara's group. Robert was there. He had a teddy bear. So first off, none of these people was equipped to even play this game at this point. With me at this point, like
we had like a teddy bear and like
he had his own level of hell.
Elf and like an earthbender, and they're fighting these like 75, 80 foot Leviathans that are flying through the sky.
It was not fair from the beginning.
It was rough.
Man, but Dungeons and Dragons is a dope game. I enjoy playing it. I never saw anybody. Oh man, what was it called? What was the vehicle called, man? That we played for 39 months, man. What was it called?
The Whoosh Paw.
The Whoosh Paw, man. Oh my god, that was the craziest. That was the craziest campaign.
For those of you that have ever played Halo, I pictured the Whoosh Paw as a warthog type vehicle from Halo.
Look at that.
It's a warthog, right? Yeah. It's a warthog.
I don't know. I have a PlayStation.
Oh,
it's a warthog.
It's the one they drive around. It's the little Jeep looking thing.
Yeah.
Sits 3 people, and so they were fitting like 10 people in it, and like we extended it all out for them. I come to find out about 2 months ago, actually, and I don't think you've heard this yet, that they pictured themselves driving around like a classic car. Like a baby blue, like silver chrome tail fins, like leather, like that light tan leather seating, windshield, and like that's what they thought they were driving around. Like you'd see it like the '80s diner.
Yeah,
and they were like, dude, we thought we were driving around that suit. That's why we were thinking like that. They were always so surprised what they could get away with driving the Whoosh Paw.
Because there's no way that this 1980s ass car would ever be able to do any of the shit this dude is talking about.
And so they're driving around, jumping off cliffs and all this stuff and crashing the car all the time. And they're like, man, this was the most banged up thing in the world. But it was super strong. And they thought I was just being nice. But I'm sitting there thinking it's like a military type Jeep like that they're driving around. And it's super strong and all this. So there was that. But that's the beauty about Dungeons and Dragons, Joe. Honestly, if I'm being honest, it's different for everybody, and you leave some of it to that person's imagination. And if your imagination, their imagination don't meet up,
you get a campaign that lasts for 5 months.
That's accurate, but also
that was the longest shit ever. It was so funny,
dude.
Each session was 4 hours,
but like you can have 2 incredibly different experiences.
Yeah.
Telling the same story.
That's what happened. That's what I thought was dope. It was like this time thing because the point of it was like they had to start all over in a pod and they didn't know what happened, but they would have an extra item that would be helpful for them for the next time. That was fun.
There was some time travel involved. It was awesome. But that was honestly my favorite. That's my favorite thing about D&D is just how different, and this happens in life too, I feel like, is you can have 2 separate people who are living the exact same moment. And if you come back, 6-12 months later, they can look at that moment differently. Both people can, because it's different perspectives. And it's even more so when you're telling a story. And that's why, your classic legends get... I'm going off on a big...
No. Actually, no. I'm loving where you're going with this because 2 people can be in the same moment. 3 people, 4 people, 5 people can be in the same moment and perceive it differently. And somehow they have to make it work. I like that shit.
And that's what D&D is.
That's what D&D is.
Shout out, y'all ought to try D&D. I run too many campaigns already, but I'm always happy to start another one. I think I'm playing 4 nights a week right now, and it's getting me through quarantine, Joe. I'll tell you that.
I love it. Are you playing remotely right now, or it's like, hey, we got as long as it's less than 10 people?
Yeah, we were using Discord for a while, but the Discord audio is just so we. One of our groups is trying to get us to switch over to Facebook Messenger. I got another group switching to Zoom. I got another group switching to Ring Central, which is a derivative of Zoom. So
I haven't even seen Zoom yet.
It's actually pretty useful. We were using it long before all this popped up because 90% of my job's remote. When I'm not traveling, I'm talking to people remotely.
Mm.
You know, I try to talk to 60 counties a week, 80 counties a week. I probably talk to a lot more than that, but like, you know, just as a goal to at least touch base and have that good conversation.
Yeah, that good face to face.
That's how you got to do it.
No doubt about it. Bambi, outside of you working hard and doing what you do, you know, where can they find you at? Where can they find you at on, you know, whether it be Minecraft or something with it? Where can they find you at on social media? Should any social media you would want people to see? Where should they find you?
That's a great question. I've never actually, you know, I probably ought to clean up my social media profiles. I never really like. I got a Facebook account. It's Barry Bambi Faust. My gamer tag's BC Firestar. You can find me on
BC
Discord.
Firestar for sure. Yeah.
It's you know, honestly, I need to rebrand some of my stuff, get myself together, because you know I'm looking to take it far. I'm looking to do things, and honestly, Joe, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. Honestly, though.
Oh, stop.
Oh no, because you got it. You've been talking this for years, and just to finally be on the show, because we talked about this probably in our first year meeting. I don't know if you remember that at all, but there was a point where you and I were sitting at your house. We were sitting on the couch and
Cinco de Mayo.
That's how he brings it back. We were sitting on your couch and people were playing Smash or something on the TV, and you looked at me and we had a real serious moment. You said, "I want to do a podcast. I want to do it. What do you know?" And at the time, I did not know a lot, and I was not as helpful as I would have liked to been. But to see you come through and get this off the ground, and we're in episode 15.
Episode 15. Yeah.
And I think that is just an excellent thing for you to do. And I'm looking forward to watching this show for many years, Joe. And I do hope at some point you'll have me back.
Man, you got to be back. And, you know, that brings me back to that time that I had just filled out my character sheet. And it got to the point where it asked what species is my spouse. And I got to looking at my phone and I said, if she would go to christianmingle.com, you can find Bartholomew. Holla at your boy. Look him up. UNIQO_Williams on Twitter. Unico Williams on everything else. Bambi, thanks for being a part of this show. I holla.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.